Hi, in this video we're going to be giving you some tips on how to build this bed. But before we get started, just a couple of reminders. Make sure you have a Phillips head screwdriver and optionally a flathead screwdriver. Another person can be helpful in putting this together. And just make sure you have all the pieces facing the right way and you'll do great. So with that in mind, let's get into it.
Remember, in these tips we won't cover every step, so just make sure you also follow the instructions and do all the steps in between.
In steps 2 through 5, we're going to be putting together the headboard. And for this we have pieces 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we'll be using parts A, B, C, and the nut F. So for step 2, we're going to put together these side pieces first. So you want to make sure that you have these holes facing up. You can go ahead and slide that dowel in. And then we can go ahead and put in our bolt and our nut. And with the nut, you just want to make sure that you have the hole lining up for the bolt. And then you can hold that in place either with your fingernail or with a flathead screwdriver. So go ahead and put this in. All right, and once we have that piece on, we can go ahead and put on the next one. And then on this piece, you just want to make sure that you have these 2 holes facing forwards and that they're on the bottom half of the piece. So they'll be sitting this way when you put it face down like that. So you can go ahead and fit it into this side piece here. And then once again, we can go ahead and put in our bolt and our nut. All right, and once we have this side all attached, we can go ahead and move on to step 3, which is attaching the other side. So for step 3, we're going to go ahead and do the same thing we did on the other side, and we'll just go ahead and attach these to the leg. All right, and once we have both sides fully attached, then step 4 is putting the dowels into the headboard, which we already did. And then step 5 is going to be lining up the piece here with the dowels onto the headboard, and then we can go ahead and attach them. And once we have these legs lined up with the headboard, we can go ahead and put the bolts in with the shorter one on the top and the longer one on the bottom. Go ahead and secure these. All right, and once you have one side secured, you can go ahead and do the other side, and then you'll be good to move on. In step 6, we're going to be attaching the brackets to the headboard and the footboard. So when we attach these, you want to make sure that you have this open end facing the top of each piece. And we can go ahead and put in the bolts with our washers. So I'll go ahead and attach those. And then we can go ahead and do the same for the other side. Okay, and once you have those secured, then you're good to move on. For steps 7 and 8, we'll be putting together the frame of the bed. So we're going to start with step 7. And with this, you're going to want to put your pieces up on some kind of block just to make sure everything stays up and straight. So we've already done this side, but we'll go ahead and do this one. So we'll just want to line up the dowel with the headboard. And then we can go ahead and put in our bolts and our nuts just like usual. All right, and then once we have both sides secured, we can go ahead and move to the end of the bed to do step 8. So for step 8, we're just going to stand up the footboard here. And then we can go ahead and slide these hooks into the slit that's on this piece. And then just make sure they slide down and lock into place. And then we'll do the same thing for the other side. And then once you have the frame all secured, you're good to move on and do the rest of the steps. We hope this video was helpful for you in putting together your new bed. For more guides, tips, and tricks, go to walkeredison.com.